Hello, I'm Colin Healy, Artistic Director of Fly North Theatricals.
And I'm Bradley Rohlf, Managing Director of Fly North Theatricals.
Thank you for tuning in to the announcement of Fly North Theatricals' 2021 season, as well as a few other plans that we have in store over the coming year.
If for some reason you found yourself here and you have no idea who we are, Fly North Theatricals is two things. One half is a nonprofit theater company committed to producing new, local, and accessible works of musical theater.
The other half is a private studio that offers one-on-one performing arts training to students of all ages from all across the St. Louis region. Starting this summer, Fly North Theatricals will start offering private dance lessons in many styles taught by some of St. Louis's best and up-and-coming choreographers.
We'd like to thank the Kransberg Arts Foundation for having us as residents and for making so much possible through their constant promulgation of the arts in St. Louis. We're so glad to be a part of it.
St. Louis has one of the richest cultural scenes in the country, and you sure know how to prove it. Our debut show, Madam, which went up this January, was a musical that no one had ever heard of by, someone no one had ever heard of, produced by a brand new theater company. And we sold out 90% of our tickets with 9 complete sellout performances out of 13. Thank you, St. Louis.
That leads us to our first announcement. In our closing weekend of Madam, you might remember we announced we'd be launching our Capital campaign to record a cast album featuring the 2020 St. Louis cast. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, that has slowed for a multitude of reasons.
However, we're still very much dedicated to making it happen. And in fact, we made a little progress before quarantine began. We're pleased to announce the release of our first single from the Madam Cast album, available for download right now in our online store, as well as at flynorththeatricals.com/madam. It's available for whatever you can afford, even for free. These are troubling times for all of us, and frankly, we'd rather you have the music. Go download it just as soon as we're done here.
Now for some not so good news. After exhausting other options and consulting with the Kransberg Arts Foundation, we have decided to postpone our production of Stephen Sondheim's Assassins. The safety and comfort of our cast, crew, and audience has been at the forefront of our minds throughout this pandemic, and we just don't think we're going to get there by July 4th. If by some chance we do, better safe than sorry.
Barring any unforeseen circumstances, we will, in fact, be opening Assassins on November 20th. And while it's certainly not July 4th, we hope our audiences carry with them into that house the buzz of a recent election and a year of uncertainty without precedent in our lifetimes as context for Stephen Sondheim and John Weidman's masterwork about how the American dream can indeed manifest as the American nightmare. Tickets are still available, or tickets are still on sale, and the tickets that have been purchased will be honored. You have 3 options. You can either contact Metratix to have your tickets changed to that later date. You can receive a refund, or you can choose to donate the cost of your ticket to the company, 100% of which will go to us. That's all the bad news. Now, before we get to the reason that you all came here, a word from our sponsor, you.
That's right. Our initial plan was to make these announcements at our annual Spring Thing Cabaret fundraiser, but that event, like so many, was canceled. With that, not only did we lose an opportunity to make this announcement flashy and, on a stage in person, we also frankly lost our biggest fundraiser of the year. Like many of you, that's made the belt a little tight around here. And if you can relate to that, well, this next part isn't necessarily addressed to you.
We know you can all find it in your hearts, or else you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be watching this. But if you can also find it in your wallets to help out Fly North Theatricals with a tax-deductible donation of any amount, we are firm believers that art is the ability to turn money into magic, and that is what we promise to continue to do with your support. You can give online at flynorththeatricals.com/giving, or get some perks by becoming a patron on Patreon. At either site, you can find out more about us and our Theater for All initiative in partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri. Now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. We're pleased to announce 3 shows as part of our 2021 season, and its theme, American stories, centered around overlooked protagonists, set in the 1960s, around one of each of the Kennedy assassinations, and also a little charming show about amphibians.
That's our theme?
That's our theme.
Okay, well, in January of 2021, we will be mounting a new production of Colin Healy's Forgatonia.
It's a farcical drama about falling in love, coming of age, and seceding from the United States. It follows 2 siblings through 2 interwoven parallel stories set in Colchester, Illinois, a town that was at the center of a real-life secessionist movement in the late 60s when the government reneged on a promise to build a highway,
leaving Colchester, an island in the corn, and its people just as forgotten. Forgatonia grapples with the fact that sometimes when we fight for our home, we lose. Then what? How do we cope? And how do we come back once we leave? Come find yourself in Forgatonia, opening January 8th at the Dot Zac.
And also at the Dot Zac, in July, Fly North Theatricals would be producing Janine Tesori and Tony Kushner's musical masterpiece, Caroline or Change. Set in Lake Charles, Louisiana in 1963, Caroline or Change is a provocative story about political change, social change, and pocket change. In this Tony-nominated musical, Tesori blends blues, gospel, and traditional Jewish melodies, which provide a breathtaking medium for Kushner's very personal and riveting storytelling. It follows the Gelman family and their African-American maid, Caroline Thibodeau, who is drifting through life as an aging mother of 4. Set largely in the Gelman's basement laundry room, a bond between Caroline and the Gelman's young son Noah forms, while outside, some of the largest social advancements in American history are happening, and change is knocking on that basement door. Featuring one of the strongest female roles in musical theater history, Caroline and her namesake musical will leave audiences breathless. Join us 16 feet below sea level for Caroline or Change, opening July 2nd, 2021.
And finally, in November 2021, at the Marcel,
the Marcel.
Fly North will be staging A Year with Frog and Toad, starring me as Frog.
And me as Toad, with an ensemble populated by some of our Fly North students.
And as a part of our mission towards promoting accessible theater here in St. Louis, it will be presented completely free to the public.
A Year with Frog and Toad is a Tony-nominated musical based on the beloved children's book that, well, follows a year in the life of 2 great friends.
The cheerful, bow-tie-wearing, and devastatingly popular Frog.
And the rather grumpy Toad who looks funny in a bathing suit. Wait a minute.
Well, waking from hibernation in the spring, Frog and Toad plant gardens, swim, rake leaves, go sledding, and learn life lessons along the way. The 2 best friends celebrate and rejoice in the differences that make them unique and special. Part vaudeville, part make-believe, and all charm, A Year with Frog and Toad tells the story of a friendship that endures throughout the seasons.
With a jazzy, upbeat, and infectiously hummable score by Robert and Willie Reel, A Year with Frog and Toad bubbles with melody and wit, making it an inventive, exuberant, and enchanting musical for the whole family. Join me.
And me.
And a couple of St. Louis's best up-and-coming young actors down in the bog on November 1st, 2020.
2021.
2021. That is not what it says in the script that I wrote. It's 2021, not 2020. We're announcing that season.
Now next, coming this June.
Whoa, this June?
Yes, that's not a typo.
That's next month.
Yes.
I'm a fan of nonlinear storytelling.
You sure are.
Oh.
We are pleased to announce a flurry of new art-centric web content from Fly North Theatricals. It's more important now than ever to provide content that you can access wherever you are, on the go or, locked up in your home.
On June 9th, 2020, this time, We will be premiering the Fly North Theatricals Spotlight series on our new YouTube channel. The Spotlight series will highlight our family of students and actors, where some of the best and brightest from our studio to the stage will perform some of their most well-rounded material. They say to sing the hits. Well, this is it.
Then on June 12th, we're launching the Grown Up Theater Kids podcast, where Colin and I break down elements of a beautifully absurd local theater scene and explore what it means to make art there. Featuring guests from all walks of theater life, we'll tackle a range of endless topics, like the act of hat balancing and the perennial role of the assistant director slash stage manager slash set builder slash usher, or more serious topics like the delicate conundrum of how a community theater effectively serves its community. The Grown Up Theater Kids will be available wherever you get your podcasts.
And on June 17th, we'll be debuting the first fully produced episode of our new YouTube series, Gin and the Tonic, a reckless unpacking of music history's weirdest stories, hosted by me. Grab a drink, come join me at the piano, and let's talk about my favorite composers and the music they made and all the things that made them geniuses, like late-stage syphilis and mercury poisoning.
Other future plans coming soon include our cabaret series, featuring some of St. Louis's brightest talent on some of the city's most intimate stages.
With an emphasis on storytelling, we wish to produce what we're calling concept cabarets, with an arc that tells the actor's personal story through the power of musical theater. If you're interested in having your cabaret produced, feel free to reach out and tell us a story. Go to flynorththeatricals.com/contact and pitch it to us.
So, in summation, go download Empire at flynorththeatricals.com/madam.
If you got some spare change in these tough times, go to flynorththeatricals.com/giving or find us on Patreon.
Colin's original musical, Forgatonia, opens January 8th, 2021.
Our summer musical, Caroline or Change, opens July 2nd, 2021.
And A Year with Frog and Toad, starring me
and me,
for free, opens November 1st, 2021.
Our cabaret series launches later this year.
And we'll be putting out some new content for wherever you are on YouTube over the next month and beyond. And that's about it. Stay up to date by following us on social media at Fly North Theatricals. And if you really want to do us a favor, despite the fact that this is going to be the only thing on it for about a month, hop over to YouTube and find our page and subscribe. Because the fact is, YouTube doesn't allow custom domains until you have 100 subscribers, and we'd like to have a custom domain by the time June 9th rolls around. So help us out.
There is so much Fly North content coming your way in the next year and a half. Here at Fly North Theatricals, we're committed to producing new and accessible works of musical theater while promoting education through performance. But you're the most important part of that. This is a symbiotic relationship. It's you who we do this for, and in turn, you make it possible. It's a relationship that we're eternally grateful for. Thank you for allowing us to do what we love. I hope you love what we do. I'm Colin Healy.
And I'm Bradley Rohlf.
We'll see you soon.